Alright guys, so we've moved on to the chassis here, and I want to show you the ball ends that are going to be mounted on the chassis. You're going to have to pre-drill all of these holes for these ball ends, but I want to make note to point out that where these inside ball ends are. These are your lower mounts, and then your upper mounts are going to be inside the chassis. You can see them here, here, and here. One thing I noticed too is that these two here on the back, they are not directly in line with each other. So we'll just have to see what that does to the geometry, but you know, just something else I wanted you to be able to see is this one and this one are not lined up. This one appears to be just a hair forward compared to this one there. So we'll keep building and see what happens, see how it looks. But just so you know, these are where the ball ends are going to be mounted if you choose to build your own. Alright, so I want to give you an idea of what the gearbox looks like. So first things first, you've got your motor, and it's got a series of gear reductions. And then you've got a 3-step gear system here that leads to your center differential. All this is locked. The axles are locked, center diff's locked. But just wanted you to see what the gearbox looks like. The gears are all plastic. You've got metal ball bearings, and then you've got a metal center drive shaft for the or the center differential, basically. But that is what the drive system looks like, the gearbox looks like. Simple with regards to this gear reduction system here on the motor is pretty interesting. It looks like it's got 5 or 6 gears in it to make that reduction. So should be good and torquey. We'll just have to keep building it and see. Alright, so I'm jumping ahead in the build just a little bit because I got all the suspension installed, steering installed, and I test fit the electrics just to make sure that everything worked. And since it does, now I kind of want to see it roll. So I'm going to do the tires and wheels, put all that together, but I want to just kind of touch on what you get. These are really nice little tires. The rubber compound is really soft. They're very flexible. These are going to have, they should have really, really good grip. And you do get foams to put in them. So I'm going to run these without foams first just to see how it works. If I need to, I'll go back to the foams. But, you know, this thing can't weigh that much. So we'll just have to see how much give these tires have with the weight of the truck on there. But so let's get them together and see how it looks. So the first test run's complete. I say test run kind of from here to there. But you can see here's what they look like on it. I can see probably why the foams are a good idea. It's just how flexible the sidewalls are. I'm going to continue with it like it is, just to see how they go. I can always put the foams in later if I want to. But it's a runner. Just got to get the rest of the body done. I've got to paint it, and then I've got to figure out how I'm going to situate all the electronics. At this point, I haven't seen a way in which the battery can be easily mounted and removed. I'm probably going to figure out some way to deal with that. I'm not exactly sure because I haven't checked the way the body all goes on there. I know the bed screws in back here. I think the front may pop out. We'll just have to see how it goes. But that's going to be one of the next big things, is figuring out the placement for all the receiver and the speed control and then battery. So that's what we've got. Alright guys, so as you can see, body's on the chassis. We've gotten everything built. Obviously I haven't done the finishing. I haven't painted it, haven't put the glass and everything. I just wanted to get it assembled and get it up and running, get it test drove and see how it looks. And as you can see, I've gotten it together. As you can see inside, it's very tight packaging. The speed controls were mounted up here. Battery is along here. The receiver box I've just got stuffed in there because it's just an FM unit, so it's bigger than most of your 2.4 systems. But it's what I had lying around, so that's what I used in the meantime. But it's tight. I have test driven it a little bit. It's a torquey little machine for its size, So you get a lot of axle twist from just the torque. You're going to have to play with your lengths a little bit because they're not perfect. So, for instance, you might be able to tell this axle is shifted a little bit to the, in this particular instance, it'd be the driver's side, I'm sorry, the passenger side, so it's shifted over to this side. So it needs, the lengths need to be adjusted a little bit to get that axle to center back. But that's just something you'll have to play with a little bit. Yours may come out better than mine, but what I have noticed is that this axle will tend to torque twist that way, and then the springs, the shocks are very soft, so it's easy for it to get kind of stuck as it's rolling along that way. But we're built. One test run has been done, so the verdict is still out on just how capable it is. I can tell you that I probably will stick the foams in it just because the tires are so soft that you get a lot of sidewall flex. So I'm probably going to stuff those back in there and see what kind of a difference it makes. But that's where we are. Next step will be to paint the body, finish it out, maybe stick a different radio system in there. I don't know, just we'll see. But so far, I like what I see. Given it's a relatively inexpensive model, it packs a lot into a very tiny package. And when I say tiny, I mean tiny. You need a good set of tweezers. The actual model, the body is not bad. It's obviously supposed to be an F-150 Raptor. The detail on it is fairly good. I really like that the bed is a full deep bed. The only downside is you can't stuff anything under there, so you couldn't put a battery or your electronics, anything under there. They all have to go up here in the cab, so it's very difficult to do any interior detail. But like I said, it's nice to have a working tailgate, a deep bed. It's just kind of you don't see that as much as you'd like to on some of the models. But that's where we are. Stay tuned.